Hello everyone and welcome to Checkpoint. Yeah, I'm really excited to be with you once again. It's your host Dr. Ifeoma Eze, and I'm here again with some very insightful information that will help your life and your destiny. I'd like to start by saying thank you and thank you again for all that you do for us here at Checkpoint. Thank you for your likes, your comments, your shares, and for subscribing to my YouTube channel. And because of all that you do, our message is reaching a wider audience, and for this I am indeed very grateful. So thank you, and thank you again. Now, before I introduce the topic for today, you know how we roll here at Checkpoint. I'm about to introduce the topic, so please go ahead, share the link, and share the link everywhere. Share with your friends, your relations, your associates, and your neighbors. Let them know that Checkpoint is on right now. So today I'll be sharing something that will be of benefit to you in your life, in your business. So please go ahead and share away. But no matter what you do, make sure that you don't leave this place. Don't leave this channel, because I will be right back after the break. Don't go anywhere. All right, and welcome back to Checkpoint. I'm really excited to be with you today because I have something very interesting that will be of benefit to your life, your business, your career, whatever it is that you have found yourself to do. So today on Checkpoint, I'll be sharing with you 10 types of people to never do business with. 10 types of people to never do business with. Let me tell you the truth. The people you do business with matters a lot. As a matter of fact, your business is as strong as the people who are connected to that business. Let me put it in terms of your organization. If you are running an organization, these are also the kind of people you should not deal with. You should not do work with. You should not build your organization with. So as I'm sharing it, it's not just for business people, it's for business executives too, for people who lead organizations. Everyone should be wary of these 10 types of people. So I'll be sharing with you 10 types of people to never do business with. Please, if this kind of people, don't ever get married to them. This kind of people, don't employ them in your organization. This kind of people, don't let them be your business partners. This kind of people, don't let them be in charge of your businesses in any way. So these people are the people you want to avoid if you want to succeed in your business and in your career. And I'm saying this over and over again so that you understand that this is essential for you to prosper, for you to succeed in that given business or in that given career or in that given job that you have found yourself doing. Okay, so please, I'll be sharing with you the 10 types of people to never do business with. And as I begin to talk about them gradually, one after the other, I'd like you to do me a favor. Make sure you are commenting at every instance. If you're following the live program, please comment in the live chat. And if you're following the live program, you can also comment on the comment section. Let me give you a little secret. The comments you drop on the live chat may disappear, but the ones you drop in the comment section will be there for a long time. So please go ahead and share and drop a comment in the comment section and also on the live chat. So I'll be sharing with you 10 types of people to never do business with. Let me tell you, if you see this kind of people, just start running. Run as if somebody is chasing you, right? Run as if, I'm telling you, run as if somebody is chasing you, because you know that these people are bad for business. They are bad for your career. They are bad for your organization. They are not good for you. Now, number one on that list of people who you should never do business with are people who are dishonest. Number one, people who are dishonest. Have you seen somebody? They never ever say the truth. In fact, if they tell you good morning, begin to run outside and confirm. Check your clock, check your time, and be sure that it is still morning, because it's possible they will tell you good morning when it's already afternoon. There is nothing that they say that you can trust. There are people like that. They are so dishonest. They would go and purchase a thing and they will exaggerate the price. They will tell you, this is not what I bought it. They will exaggerate the price for you. These are dishonest people. They will never say the truth. A customer comes to buy something, they will chase the customer away with high pricing. They'll make your customers feel like they are nothing. Please be wary of such people. Watch against such people in your business, in your organization. People who are dishonest. In fact, I was reading something that was written by Warren Buffett sometime, and he said something very strategic that he looks at for three very major competencies in people when he wants to hire them, and one of them is honesty. In fact, he said that even if you're not as skillful as you should be, but you are an honest person, he would rather take an honest, unskilled person and make out of that person somebody who is honest and skilled. So I'm telling you, people who are dishonest are bad for business. They would hardly ever say the truth. They would not come up with in fact, saying the truth is difficult for them. When you see people like this, avoid them. Avoid them at all costs, because they are not good for your business. They are not good for your organization. And let me tell you, who is the business owner, you who are the leader in that organization, as you are avoiding dishonest people, you too, don't be a dishonest person. There are leaders who are very dishonest, and they expect the people that they lead to be very honest with them. How? You are consistently, deliberately, intentionally, through your actions and inactions, you are sowing the seed of dishonesty, and then you are breeding a generation of dishonest people. And how will you expect them not to be dishonest towards you? So if you are out there, you're a business leader, and you too are dishonest, please work on your level of honesty so that it would help your business and it will help your organization. Is that okay? All right, so let's talk about number two. Number two, types of people that you should never do business with. You should not have in your organization. You should not employ them. You should not do anything with them. These are number two. Number two kinds of people are people who are unkind. There are people who are so mean, so wicked, so rude. I mean, everything that comes out of their mouth is meant to injure. You know, the Bible says about the word of God being a two-edged sword. Let me tell you, these people, their mouths, their tongues are actually the edged sword. Their mouth is so sharp, it can kill, it can destroy, it can, in fact, may not touch you, they may not even beat you, but with the dangerous tool they have in their mouth called the tongue, they can destroy somebody's self-esteem entirely. They can kill someone, all right, because they have this very kind of toxic mouth. And it's important that you know this. There are people that are very unkind. They may look good facially, they may look good in physique, but then they are very unkind. They are wicked, they are mean in their heart. They have no joy, they have no love for other people. They do not understand what sympathy or empathy is. They just go ahead and treat people in very unkind ways. This is a set of people you must do everything you can to avoid, because they are unkind people. If you have a business and you have people who are not kind, they will spoil the business for you. They will ruin the business for you. They will ruin your organization. They will destroy the things you have been trying to build over the years. So it is very, very, very important that you never have anything to do with people who are unkind, all right? Test people, okay, beyond their CVs. You know, kindness does not show on the CV, right? Traits like being honest does not show on the CV. So after you have seen the CV, after you have received the CV, please do yourself a favor by making sure you test them, their attitude. You create opportunities that will help them expose the kind of person that they truly are. Kindness is a virtue. It's a virtue that everyone must have. It's a virtue that you and I must imbibe on a daily basis. It does not cost to be kind, right? The world is full of wickedness. The least we can do for every of humanity is to be kind, to reach out to others, to think and consider others, to as we're taking decisions, as we are deciding on what to do with our lives and with the things that we have been able to achieve. Let's also be kind to people. There's this story I shared on Facebook sometime. It's a story of a lady who would always pass at the end of work day. She would always greet the security guy at the gate of the organization every day. So she would at the close of work, she would always walk past the security guy and then tell him, bye, have a nice day. And as she's coming to work, she's saying, hello, good morning. I hope you are good. I hope you had a good night's rest. It's going to be a beautiful day. And then the security over time noticed that this was the only person who was kind enough to be able to reach out to him and then greet him and hail him going in and then coming out. So she did this for a very long time. But something happened one day. On a particular day, she had gone to the freezer section of their company, and she, in the course of trying to bring something out of the freezer, she mistakenly got locked inside the freezer. So she was there for a while. She had called for help. Her phone was not close by because she had left her phone in the office area before she went to the freezer area, and she shouted, she screamed and called with a loud voice. Nobody was able to hear her. She was practically freezing to death. Now it happened that by the close of work, every other person had gone out, and this man, before he could lock the company, he said, there is somebody who has not greeted me yet. This lady who always greets me, how come she's not out yet? What happened? I received her greeting in the morning as she went in, but on her way out, nobody, she didn't get to greet me. So it means she must be there. Is it that she's working late? He now decided to go and check on her. Now, when he went in, he searched for her everywhere. By the time he got to her office, he discovered that her handbag was still in the office. Her phone was there, but then she wasn't there. So it just occurred to him to just open the freezer area. And when he used his key card to unlock the freezer area, lo and behold, this lady was there she was at the verge of suffering hypothermia, but then she was still alive. And she's in her weakness, she was already passing out. And she said, why did you come to look for me? How come you were the only person who came to check on me? He said something. He said, everybody in this organization treats me as if I am just one of the doors or the gates of the organization. They don't treat me like a human being. But you greet me coming in, you greet me going out, you ask me how my day was, you tell me I'm going to have a beautiful day. Do you know that I would have resigned from this work a long time ago? But because of your kindness, I have remained here so that I can just get to see you every morning, tell me it's going to be a beautiful day, and to tell me every night that I should have a good night's rest. And so when I didn't see you say the same words you have said to me over a long time, a period of time, I decided to just come and look for you. And this was how she was saved. She was kept alive because she was a very kind person. There are lots and lots of stories I can tell you in this regard concerning being kind, but this is just the one that comes to mind at this very moment. And I like you to know that being kindness does not cost a thing. All right, it is something that when you imbibe it into your nature, it will automatically flow in every single thing that you find yourself to do. All right, so let's talk about number three. Number three type of people that you should never have to do any business with. They are people who can't keep their words. People who can't keep their words. I must tell you that one of the very nauseating things, one of the very embarrassing and irritating things I have come to experience is people who do not keep their words. I have built myself up to the point where if I tell you I'm going to do something, I will do that thing. It doesn't matter how difficult it's going to be. I will ensure and do everything in my power to see that I get to do that thing, because I believe in the power of words. I believe that my words should be bankable. I believe that my words should be trusted. I believe that my words count and my words matter. I do not take my words for granted. Before I say anything, make any promise, I make sure that it is something I am able to do. I believe so much in the power of words. And if you're out there and you take your words for granted, you can say anything and just let it go. That is wrong of you. Your words should count. Your word should be your bond. You should stand by your word at every given time. You should not be the type of person that just says anything, throws any word out, and then just sits back and assume that, well, they would soon forget. No, no. Learn to keep to your words. Learn to keep to your words. One of the very first things that attracted me to my husband before we got married was that when we were still cutting, he was coming to visit me. I was in Nnamdi University, Oka, at the moment. That this was way back in 2005. I was in my final year. He said he was going to visit one of the days, and when he said he was going to visit, everything seemed okay and it looked like he could actually make it. But along the line, before he could embark on that journey, his family had called him. His younger sister needed some blood transfusion at that very, very moment. And he was the blood type that could transfuse. And then he was asked to transfuse, you know. And then he transfused blood. He called me and told me that, well, there's going to be a delay. He's not going to be able to come at the time he said, but that he's going to transfuse blood, after which he will try to come. And I said to myself, well, I know this is a family emergency, but I'm about to become his family. And I need to be sure that this man is somebody I can trust. I need to be sure that he's somebody that can keep to his words, that would stand by his words, all right? And I said to myself that, well, I'm going to put him to a test. If he eventually comes today, despite everything, then he's somebody I can spend the rest of my life with. But if he does not do that and he gives the reasons because he's taking care of his sister or giving her blood or stuff like that, I will know that, well, I might not be a priority in my relationship. Now, this is what worked for me. It does not mean that it has to work for you. You just have to be very careful to know which one of the advices I have that would actually fit into your own peculiar life. So on that very day, he called back a few hours later and said the blood transfusion had been done. He had been able to donate the blood, and they have transfused on his sister, and then she was feeling better. But of course, he who had given out the blood, he was feeling a bit woozy, and that because of that, he would not drive, but that he was going to get his friend to drive that particular day, but he was still going to come. I was like, wow, I just waited. When he eventually came to Oka that day, I said to myself, well, this is somebody you can trust your life with, all right? You can spend the rest of your life with, and you can be sure that he would keep to his words. He would take good care of you. He would value you. You know, he will prioritize you. And this were one of the things. I won't say that was the only thing, but it was one of the things that strengthened my heart in terms of going into a relationship with him. And today, 18 years counting, I can say that he has kept his word for the most of it. He has lived up to the promises he has made, and there are still promises in front, right? But then I believe he's working his way towards that. But then it's important that you make sure that you are dealing with somebody who can keep to their words, somebody who just says things for the sake of the moment and then changes their mind every minute. Is not somebody you want to do a business with. You want to be in business relationship with somebody who can say, whose yes is yes and whose no is no, whose words are bankable, who you can trust at every given time. And this is very, very important. All right. So make sure that you don't have business to do with somebody who cannot keep their words. Capish? All right. Please let me know in the comment section. As I'm sharing, I like to also hear from you. I like to know what your thoughts are. I like to know if there are people like this that you have actually met in life, you have met in your business or in career, and how did it go? All right, what happened? These are the things I want to hear from you in the comment section. Type it in and let me know. Let's talk about number 4. Number 4 type of persons that you cannot do business with. All right, remember we're talking about 10 types of people to never do business with. Number 4 on that list are poor communicators. well. Somebody might say, why are you penalizing them? They're just poor communicators, you know, they're not able to communicate well. Well, a poor communicator can put your business in jeopardy. Let me say this again. A poor communicator can put your business in trouble. Like, imagine that some authorities come to your office or come to your business place of business, and they give a particular instruction verbally, and it was supposed to be like a verbal follow-up to a possibly a letter they had dropped before. You know that that person communicating wrongly or communicating poorly can actually affect your business. So please, make sure that you do business with people who are able to say what it is they have, communicate what it is that they have received in terms of information. And then imagine that your front desk officer is not a good communicator. Do you know the kind of harm and havoc it can wreak on your business? It can wreak on your on the work that you do, on your organization. You see, I know that things like nepotism, which are not supposed to exist in organizations, do exist, and wrongly so. So you bring in your father, your father's sister, your niece, your sibling, your cousin, or whatever relationship that you have with them, and you put them in positions that they are not fit for, because you think that, oh well, that's my mother's sister, brother, younger niece, whatever relation or connection that it is, and you put them in places where they are not fit for. At the end of the day, you're doing your business a lot of harm. You're doing your organization a lot of harm. You need to ask yourself these questions. The people I am employing, are they the best fit for this office? Are they the best fit for this job? Are they the best fit for this position? And this is very, very important. Poor communicators do not even care about feedback. They do not even care about how what they are saying is affecting the other person. And this is a lot of one of the things that I look into a lot when I get to speak to people on emotional intelligence. Okay, I let them know that communication is important. The way, even what you say to somebody, you need to be conscious of how the person receives what you are saying. That is why you have to learn to tune in into the feelings of other people. You need to learn to tune in when you're talking to people. Learn to tune into the person receiving the words from you. How are they feeling about what I'm saying right now? What are they thinking about it? All right. Are they receiving it well, or is it hurting them? So this is very, very important. A poor communicator will not even know the right words to use in order to communicate a particular thing. Have you heard somebody say good morning to you, and that good morning sounded very harsh? I'm telling you, it's a good morning, but this good morning sounded very, very harsh, you know. And then they might not even know what it is that they are saying. Sometimes people attend to customers or talk to customers, especially if you work in the customer relations department. You need to understand that your words matter. Your words create an impression before the person that you are talking to. So it is something that you have to be very, very cautious of. A poor communicator can damage your business. I'm telling you, believe me when I tell you, a poor communicator can damage your business, can ruin your business. So it is important that you make sure that the person that you are working with in your business, in your organization, in your office, is somebody who is a good communicator. All right. And now there are verbal communication aspects of communication, and then there are non-verbal aspects of communication. And this is where you have to be careful, because somebody might be saying all the right things, but their non-verbal communication, especially their body language or tone of voice, is saying something entirely different. So I don't know how many of you remember some time ago when people were saying that a former president was giving out a certain kind of body language. So he was not necessarily saying anything against, but then his body language was showing that he was not for what the masses wanted. And this is something that we have to be careful about, because poor communicators will not even mind that what they are saying is wrong. They might even be saying all the right things, but then their body language is saying all the wrong things. Their tone of voice is saying all the wrong things. Their genuflections, the way they move their hands, the way they move their eyes when they talk, is showing that they are not in tune with what exactly they are saying. All right. So please, if you have been following from the beginning, you must have heard that we are looking at the 10 types of people you should never do business with. Number one, we talked about people who are dishonest, never do business with them. Number two, we talked about people who are unkind. We said you should not do any form of business with them. We talked about number three, people who cannot keep their words. Don't do business with them. And then number four, we talked about people who are poor communicators. I'll be sharing with you number five on how number five people that you should never do business with because they are not good for you. Just stay tuned and you will get it. Are you ready for that? All right, let's tell you number five. So number five kinds of persons that you should never do business with are people who are cynical. People who are cynical. Have you seen a cynical person before? These are people who never believe that anything is good. In fact, they never see good in anything. All right? This kind of people are highly pessimistic. They are always seeing bad in every situation. They're always seeing bad in every circumstance. They're always seeing bad in people. They never ever get to see the good in people. Pessimistic people, cynical people. These are people you should never do business with. In fact, cynical people are the first to tell you that Mr. Richard has failed in business, that Mrs. Sandra has failed in that same business, that the other guy, John and Richard, they have failed in business, so you should not try this business. So they will keep telling you about all the people who failed in the business, all the people who could not survive or thrive in the business, all the people who could not do that particular thing you are trying to do, but they will never tell you about the people who succeeded at it. They will never tell you about the people who are doing well because they put their minds and their hearts in that business. They will never tell you about the people who succeeded because they did not give up. They will keep telling you, oh, this thing looks like it's going to fail. It's about to fail. What if it does not work? What if this does not work? This is something you must utterly avoid. So I'm the kind of people you must utterly avoid. Okay? People who are super cynical. They are always seeing bad in everything. They're always seeing impossibility. In fact, wherever there is possibility, their eyes are blind to it. They have selective amnesia. Selective amnesia to what? Positive things, good things, workable things. They are only focused on things that are not working, things that cannot work, things that are not okay, the people who failed at it. And see, let me tell you the truth. If you have anything of worth value, of value, any business that is worth doing, any venture that is worth going into, any endeavor that you know that is going to be very rewarding, please make sure that you avoid cynical people around you. They are cynics. They are always focused on the bad, on the negative, on the impossibility of whatever endeavor that you have found yourselves to do. And this is something you should make sure, you should be wary of such people. You should look out for them and avoid them, because they would dampen your spirit. They would dampen your resolve. They would dampen your zeal and enthusiasm to achieve results. Cynical people are people, they're always moody, always sad looking, and then you know one thing about them, they will not begin to look for somebody else whose life they can ruin. All right, right? These cynical people, because they never see good in anybody, they also don't see good in themselves, but they are always looking out for whose happy balloon they can burst, so that you have nothing, so that you feel like nothing, so that you can feel the way they are feeling, but you cannot allow them to drag you down. Now, it's important that you know that sometimes people will attack you. Sometimes people will look at you and they will assume that you're not good enough. Sometimes people will ridicule you. Sometimes people will mock you. Sometimes people will even be mean towards you. And they are doing this not because you are bad, not because you are unworthy, not because you are not enough, not because you are not capable, but because it is an overflow of the pain in their heart, an overflow of the sadness that they bear within themselves. And when they eject it out, it's not about you. Always know this. It's not about you. It's about their garbage. It's about their background. It's about the things that they have gone through. All right? They have been victims, and they're trying to make you another victim. So please, every form of abuse in this life, please make sure that you avoid it, no matter what price you pay. Or honestly, there is no price high enough that you cannot pay to make yourself free from a cynical person, free from an abuser, free from somebody who will never see good in you. There are people who are so cynical. In fact, one of the reasons that they are cynical is that they have tried in the past and they could not achieve the things that you succeeded in achieving. And because of that, you know what they do? They talk down on you. They talk down on your achievements. They talk down on the things that you do simply because they too could not afford to do what it is that you are doing. And because they felt, well, they couldn't do it, then they're asking themselves, why should we allow you to do it? So sometimes when people discourage you, that is the time to propel yourself forward and tell yourself that you can be a great achiever. When people look down on you, when they ridicule the things that you have done, the things that you would call achievements, but they are saying it doesn't matter, it's nothing. See, stand up from the ground where you are and clap for yourself and celebrate yourself and push forward and begin to do new things, better things, because that's who you are. Don't allow cynical people to hold you down. Cynical people will always, in fact, if they ever make a post on social media, they will never talk about what is right that another person is doing. They will always focus on the bad things. They will always focus on the areas where somebody is erring and doing the wrong thing. They never hardly ever focus on the things that are good, the things that are beautiful, the things that are honest. The book of Philippians chapter 4 tells us that when we are overwhelmed with situations and challenges, we should think on these things. We should keep our minds on the positive things, whatever is of good report, whatever is lovely, whatever is good, whatever is wonderful. These are the things that God expects us to put our mind on. So don't be a cynical person and don't hang out with cynical people. All right, let's talk about number 6. Number 6 kind of people that you should never do business with are people who always want to be right. People who always want to be right. Do you know there are people that, hey, I'm telling you that no matter what you say, no matter how you try to correct them, they always try to be right. Okay, let me give it to them that they are well-learned people. They are usually people who have had lots of experience, but at the end of the day, they still don't know everything. All right, so they're trying to be right. They're trying to always say, okay, in fact, if the idea comes from another person, they begin to get sad. They begin to get worried, all right? They want to always be right. In fact, they can even ruin relationship. This is ego at work. This is how ego manifests itself. So their ego is so high that they want to be right at the expense, at the detriment of your business. They want to be right at the detriment of your organization. Do you know there are people who work in organizations and you're trying to talk to them and then they're telling you, walk out, who are you? You don't come here again and stuff like that. Meanwhile, you suffer to build that business from the scratch. And I'm sure that when you were building the business, you did not treat people the way that staff is treating people. But because they do not know your labor, they do not know your sacrifices, they will trivialize the opportunity to keep that customer. They will trivialize the opportunity to be nice to that customer, and they forget that customer is king. They forget that customer is king and customer is always right. So it's very important that people who do businesses make sure that this kind of right persons are on their side and the wrong persons are out of their business, out of their company, out of their shops, because this is very, very key. Make sure that you don't do business with somebody who is always right. They can argue for Africa. They want to win every fight. They want to win every argument. They always want to be on top. In fact, they will not even support your suggestion or your move to do a particular thing because they are not the ones who brought the suggestion. So they would rather that your organization fail than contribute because they are wrong. They would rather be right than allow the customer to have a feel that they are special and wanted in the organization. And this is very, very important. If you have somebody like that, you have experienced somebody like that, let me know in the comment section. All right, because as you comment about it, others see it and they're like, oh wow, what she's saying is actually how it is. I'm sure that in your life you have cases, not one, not twice, of people who lost valuable contacts, valuable customers, valuable clients, simply because they wanted to be right. Okay, so this is not okay. I remember when we were building our house, I wanted to engage a particular lady for our kitchen cabinet. All right, so I needed some motorized kitchen drawers and stuff like that. And so I saw their company online. I really liked it. I saw the things they've done. And I was like, okay, please, I need you to come over and check the dimensions in the kitchen and see, and give me a quotation of what it would cost to make, to have this kind of kitchen setting. All right. So I called the lady. She came around. That day I had to call my brother to escort me to the site. Then now it's our house, but then it's a site. Okay, so he went with me, and then when we got there, the lady was. I was trying to explain to her what I really wanted, and she kept insisting on certain things. She told me, no, it can't be the way you want. This has to be this way. This has to be this way. I'm sure that Oga understands. I'm sure that Oga understands. You know, she kept referring to my younger brother, okay, as the Oga, as the master who was going to make decisions in this house. Little did she know that I was the one who was going to make decisions in whatever it was in the house. I was the one who was going to pay. But well, because my younger brother dressed cool, he looked like the rich young ruler, and he looked like the one that was going to pay for the kitchen work. She kept referring to him. So she would be like, you don't understand. The kitchen is supposed to be like this. That's supposed to be here. This is supposed to be here. I'm supposed to use this particular kind of furniture. You know, this one is water resistant. This one. And she would, when she's done, she's like, he understands. He knows. He knows. And I was like, okay, when you are done, come and pay yourself. When you are done, come and call yourself to do this job. I assure you, she did not come back. I did not call her again. I didn't want her to do my job again. You know why? Because she just wanted to be right at the expense of trying to make me please and accept the offer that she was giving to me. So it's you might say that it was also an ego problem on my side, but well, somebody who was not willing to listen to me, and especially because I was female, and it doesn't mean that because there was a man by my side, that man is the one who has more sense than I do. So she kept doing that over and over again. I was trying to tell her, please, I don't want this, because if this happens in this at this particular spot, I won't have enough kitchen space, standing space for the cooking on the gas cooker. She kept saying, no, let's do this way, let's partition it that way, and the rest of that. Eventually, she left. I didn't call her. She lost that job. She lost that client because she was more interested in being right than in understanding my needs for the kitchen. So this is very, very important. Don't do business with anybody who always wants to be right. Okay, let's talk about number 7. Number 7 type of people that you should never do business with are people who require constant motivation. Hey, I can talk about this one for the whole day. I'm telling you, but this video has to be cut short. See, there are people who you motivate them today, they'll just move a little inch. Then, for them to do another work within the business, within the organization, within the workplace, for them to do any other tangible, you have to motivate them again. So you spend a greater amount of energy motivating them to work than the actual work they do. Such people are destiny wasters. They are time wasters. Avoid them at all costs. Very, very important. Avoid them at all costs. You know, every sound human being should get motivation once in a while, and with it you run. If you need motivation every Monday morning, you need motivation every Tuesday morning, you need motivation before the end of the week, every day to work, something is definitely wrong with you. This kind of person is not worth spending your energy on. All right, so this is very, very, very key. Don't do business with somebody who requires constant motivation. See, requiring motivation once in a while is not a bad idea at all. Requiring motivation even once a week is not bad. It's good for your mental health. It's good for your productivity. All right, it's good for you to be able to achieve your goals and your dreams. But see, it does not have to be frequent. All right, constant motivation is not good. You know, there are people that like the wheelbarrow. You know, the wheelbarrow, when you lift the wheelbarrow, you move it, it begins to move. The moment you drop it, it just stays there. It cannot move further until you have to lift it up again. These are the way that I describe the people who need constant motivation. They're like the wheelbarrow. They can't move on their own. You know, they're not like the car or the power bike that you start, you don't move and it begins to move. No, these ones, wherever you stop, that's where they'll stop. no improvement, no dedication, no hard work, no, in fact, and because you have motivated them today, they expect you to motivate them the next day and the day after, so that now becomes what you are doing in your organization. And this is not how to live. All right, it's not how to live. Nobody wants to spend their entire energy within the workplace, within the business, constantly motivating somebody. As a sensible person, individual, you should be able to get a little motivation and move faster, get a little motivation and achieve your dreams and advance and push harder. All right, and then motivate yourself intrinsically, because at the end of the day, the motivation that is most valuable is intrinsic motivation. That is motivation that comes from within you, something you have to tell yourself in order to become who you want to be. All right, that is intrinsic motivation. Somebody who constantly needs external motivation on a steady basis for them to do what they're supposed to do or become who they're supposed to be is not good for business, is not good for employment, is not good for your organization, period. All right, hope you got that. Okay, so let's talk about number 8. Number 8 kind of persons that you should never do business with are people who know it all. All right, so while I talked about a version, a type of set of people who are the people who are always want to be right, there's another version, people who know it all. So because they know it all, they don't want anybody's input. They are not willing to learn. They are not willing to listen. All right, so you're giving them all the advice, all the suggestions, in fact, even practical tips that has helped you in the past, but they don't want to listen. They don't want to hear because they feel they know it all. After all, what are you going to teach them again? What are you going to say to them again? So I've seen this cause problems between people in businesses, people in their organizations, people in the marketplace. This is a very important subject that we're dealing with today, so that you know the kind of people that you should deal with in the business and people you should always avoid, people you should never do business with. Okay, so please make sure that you don't deal with a know-it-all. A know-it-all can even make a mistake because they want to prove that they know it all. Okay, great leaders learn daily, and every great leader is a teachable leader. You should bring yourself to that point where you are super teachable. If you are teachable, and anything can be learned, all right? And a wise man once said that the 21st century illiterate is the one who is not the one who cannot read or write. No, the 21st century illiterate is the one who cannot learn, relearn, and unlearn. Learn, relearn, and unlearn. There are things to relearn. You've learned it before, but honestly, for you to be able to function in it now, you need to relearn. And there are some other things, wow, that you have to unlearn. You have learned it before, but it's not working anymore. It's not working. It's not the pattern. What do? You unlearn it. I consider myself a lifelong learner. Somebody who learns at every interval. I find opportunities, fresh opportunities to keep learning. And I can tell you this for free, that everyone who is a lifelong learner is somebody who understands this concept that you don't know it all. That there is still something to learn, that there is still something new to learn, because you know that you can learn, you can relearn, you can unlearn. You know this, and you're willing, you're committed to doing it. So this is very key. Make sure that the person you are dealing with in your business, in your organization, in your company, is not somebody who knows it all. All right, the person should be humble enough to learn from others, humble enough to correct what they thought they used to know. And that is why I look at for teachability. Even in relationships, you should be involved with somebody who is very teachable. All right, be with somebody, do business with somebody who is teachable, who is willing to learn even the new ways of doing old things. All right, all of this is require learning. All right, and require teachability. So make sure that the person that you want to do business with, the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, is somebody who is teachable. They are willing to learn what they don't already know, and they are willing to relearn what they have learned before, and they are willing to unlearn that which is no longer serving a good purpose in their lives. Okay, All right, so let's talk about number nine. Number nine type of person you should never do business with, you should not find in your company or your organization or anywhere around you are people who care only about the money. People who care only about the money. You know that people who are working for you, they are doing business with you, but all they care about is money. They don't care about people. They don't care about the lives of people. They don't even care about helping people. They don't even consider that somebody's life might depend on what business it is that you are doing. They only care about the money. This kind of people can sell their soul to the devil. I'm telling you. This kind of people can sell their own very soul to the devil. And they don't care because it's all about the money. It's all about the money. They just want to be able to count the money. They want to be able to see the money. And it is not like that. People who are in a hurry, even the Bible says that he that is in a haste shall not be innocent. If you're in a haste to make money, you will not be innocent. If you're always in a hurry to make money at the detriment of your reputation, you want to make money at the detriment of somebody's life, you want to make money at the detriment of somebody's well-being and welfare, you want to make money by force, see, you will not be innocent. Okay? You will not be innocent. So, number 9 people that you should never do any business with are people who care only about the money. They can sell their father, they can sell their mother, they can sacrifice anyone, and they will feel nothing because it's about the money. Their focus is on the money. Their eye is on the ball. Their mind is on the money. They are not ready to consider the feelings of others. They are not ready to consider any other thing. Even the welfare of the person that employed them, they are not even willing to consider that at all. So their focus is just on how to make money, how to maximize profit. How can I make more money? And if anybody that is around you like that, it won't be long. They will do something terrible to destroy your business, to destroy your organization, or to destroy the work that you do. And this is very, very important. Make sure that you do not do business with people who care only about the money. In fact, when Judas cared only about the money when he went to crucify his master. But after he got that money, he discovered that he was still as empty as he was before he even betrayed his master. So this is very, very, very key. People always want to just do certain things. They want to be famous. They want their names to be heard. But beyond that, you have to care about them, care about the lives of people. You have to care about the feelings of people. You have to care about what people are thinking. All right. You can't even have to care about the life of somebody. How can you, for the sake of money? You know that there are people now, just because they want to get more views, because they want to get more comments, because they want to get more shares, they would rather video and cover with their camera phones an incident involving somebody's life being taken away by accident or stuff. They would rather cover it than cover the person and take the person to the hospital. So this person who is supposed to survive does not get to survive simply because somebody cares more about the views and the likes and the comments and the shares, and they do not care about human life. And this is where it gets crazy. So please make sure that you are not like this. Make sure that you too, Mr. Employer, Madam Employer, make sure that you too are not somebody who cares about the money and you don't even care about the staff that work with you. You care about the money. You don't care about their welfare. You don't even care about their life, whether they live or die. And there are people who are loyal working with you. Some things have to change. Some things have to change. We have to do better. All right. So this is it on number 9. They only care about the money. Now let me share with you number 10. The 10th type of people that you should never do business with are people who lack good morals. These people lack good morals. Okay, they don't have. In fact, you wonder who trained them, who raised them, because they lack good morals. They can say anything, they can do anything, they can think anything. They feel that they are grown-ups. They can handle themselves. They can do just about anything. But listen to me. Morality is a gift. Morality, in fact, let me put it well. Morality in your employee is a gift. Morality in somebody who is working with you is a blessing. Never ignore it. When somebody is working with you and they are highly moral people, rejoice and treat them well. Rejoice and bless them well. Do not ever take them for granted. Because in this generation, there are people with very few morals. There are people with very few morals. Many people do not even have any morals at all. They can say anything. They can dance to anything. They can behave in any kind of way. And this is not right. It is not okay. So please make sure that the 10 type of people you never do business with are people who lack good morals. Do you know that when somebody lacks good morals and a person is your partner in business, this can ruin your business. This can destroy your business itself. So you have to be very, very sure, very, very careful on how you handle these things, especially relationships as with people that you are doing business with, relationships with people that you are working for or working with. These things are very, very important. So please make sure that you look into it. Remember that we talked about the 10 types of people you should never do business with. And we said number 1 kind of person are people who are dishonest. We said number 2, people who are unkind. We said number 3, people who can't keep their words. Number 4, people who are poor communicators. We said number 5, people who are cynical. All right, very, very cynical. Number 6, people who always want to be right. And then number 7, people who require constant motivation. You go motivate, tire. Number 8, people who know it all. They know it all. They are never wrong. Number 9, people who care only about the money. They can sell your own very soul to the devil. All right. And number 10, people who lack good morals. Of course, as I have shared all of these things with you, I am sure that you would, from your own understanding, you will want to now ask, who then should I do business with? So you already have the answers. You should do business with those who are honest, do business with those who are kind, do business with those who keep their words, do business with those who are excellent communicators, do business with those who are positive minded, who see results in everything, do business with those who do not always claim to be right, do business with those who do not require consistent and constant motivation, do business with those who care about people, about their lives more than they do about money, do business with those who also have very good morals. So these are the few things I'd like to share with you today on Checkpoint. I'm so glad you watched. I'm so glad you joined us today, and I know that your life has been heavily impacted. And remember, here at Checkpoint, we equip, we empower, and we edify you with fresh content that helps you to become a better version of yourself. So be inspired and keep shooting on every side. Make sure that you are becoming the very best version of yourself every day. You are not in competition with anybody at all. You are only in competition with who you used to be yesterday. So please don't compare yourself with anybody. You are not in any competition. Keep shooting, keep shining, and until I come your way again, keep making a positive, indelible mark in the lives of people and on the sands of time. I love you so very much. Bye-bye for now. Mwah. Everyone, I hope you were blessed by that message. All right, so I want you to just go ahead and support us. If you are led, go ahead and just sow into the account right on the screen. And I know that as you do that, God will bless you big time. Because of the seeds you are sowing, you will be able to reach a wider audience on different platforms. So please do well to sow that seed, and God will bless you. Love you.